Everyone, it's CSB here. So, we're going to break down the top 3 best comps in the game right now. The first one will be Arcane, Frost DK, pretty much auto locked. Those are the best DPS right now. Great AoE profile with a great single target profile. These don't really lose any value when taking those different and any defensives as well. They lose almost no value. These are your auto lock DPS for the absolute highest comps that will probably be done at the beginning of this season. Then you have a little bit of flexibility here with your tank. I would probably have to say Guardian Druid will be a little bit better for this just because it has an AoE roar, gives you some extra versatility. Overall, it can help sustain the group if there's any bit lacking between the defensives of Frost DK, Arcane. Then obviously, because Blizzard can't do anything, Augmentation back in the top. Please get rid of this class. I don't know why it's in here, but for now, best class in the game still makes this live, gives everyone a good damage profile buff as long as it's using its cooldowns at the same time as us. So far, this is pretty much auto locked in. I hear a lot of rumblings about Priest being very good because there's a bug. We'll see what happens with that. As of right now, this is probably the tankiest and the comp that can do the highest level keys based on damage profile and tankiness. This right here will be one of the absolute meta comps. If you're playing one of these classes, you will be getting invited to high keys. That is for sure. If we are going to switch these up at all, it would probably just simply be Bear goes into A tier, and then you swap it out with like a Prot Warrior. So this seems like it could be pretty good too. If Prot just can never die, I think Prot Warrior should be fine here. But Guardian Druid buffs the whole team. We have B-Res. It can sustain itself a little bit better than Prot Warrior, but there has got to be certain dungeons where Prot Warrior is just simply better because of spell reflect. So right now, this is probably what I would change in here. And if they do something with Priest, if they change Priest back and whatever their bug is, then I believe that this could go right here. So this could be the real comp if they nerf something with Holy. I have not seen exactly why Disc is good now, people are saying, but we shall see. As of right now, this is your super meta comp, and here's some flex players in that super meta comp. Let's go straight to melee only comp. I think this is going to be one of the seasons where melee only is going to be extremely competitive. Once again, Autolock Frost DK. We have a lot of different options after that. So Havoc right now seems to be an A tier class. It can probably keep up with DK and damage, but it doesn't have the survivability or any of the extra things for the team that the Frost Death Knight brings. Like you get so much added defenses from bringing a Frost DK, and then for Havoc you get a Darkness for the group. I've never even seen it save anyone. It's not that good. It can save someone. There's probably a mob's damage in the game where this profile is good for. But let me tell you, Frost DK's profile simply better. Next, Assassination Rogue into Enhancement Shaman. This looks like it could be an absolute demon of a comp. You get Rogue Shroud, Frost DK is just perpetual damage on everything. They're crazy. And then Enhancement Shaman will give Wind Fury buff to everyone in this group. You could replace probably Frost DK, Assassination Rogue for Havoc up here. That should be fine. There's definitely pulls and dungeons where Havoc can outperform both of these on damage, but it's going to have to be seen how good Eldrachi Reaver really is for single target. If it's as good as it says, we might actually be able to run Eldrachi Reaver, Havoc with the 10% DR in the hero talents. We get 10% less damage taken when we Fellblade. We have Fellblade up at all times. So if we use that as not a spender, but as a DR, I think Havoc can make its way into S tier. We'll see. If other things get nerfed and it doesn't get touched, it can easily replace one of these two DPS. Frost would have to get nuked for it to not come in here. Right now, I think this would be the S tier DPS for melee comps if I had to pick. And then obviously you just want to chuck your Prot Warrior in there. You give all of the people a entire buff, 10% attack power, And if Priest really isn't bugged, we're going to throw Priest in here. But for now, I think we could just keep Holy Paladin or Mistweaver. These are completely interchangeable. If Mistweaver can't keep up in the high keys and it can't live itself, these classes can live by themselves. So it would make it viable, and then you would get the entire suite of buffs for all of these classes. This will do a lot of damage. And then you could replace our Holy with this, and then this is a no loss comp, so we don't want to do that. So it'd probably have to be Havoc over Rogue, which can't really find out why they would do that. So Frosty K, Havoc, Enhancement Shaman, Prompt Warrior, Mistweaver should be a good comp setup. And then your last one, we're going to bring out Vengeance. Then we bring Fire is just dirt right now. I see people playing Frost, but let's be real, that's a full wheelchair class. If you want to play Frost, you're probably only going to play Frost anyway. It doesn't really matter. You want Arcane Mage. This is where I see like Giga MDI damage coming out here. You do Arcane Mage into wherever. There it is. Destro Lock gets put up here. Then we either slam. I think it's always going to be disc, even if it's bad. I think it's always going to be disc here. And you try to determine if you can bring the Shadow Priest over disc, but right now, I don't necessarily think you would need that. I think it would probably be better right here. This comp might do the most damage in the game. Og, Priest, Destro, Arcane, Vengeance. This comp, I mean, this is insane to me. I don't know why people are sleeping on Destro so much. It feels like that profile is nuts. I think this is going to be the sleeper build that people aren't going to realize until it comes out of nowhere and just destroys the entire meta. And not that it's really a meta, everyone keeps playing this anyway, but right now, this is excellent. You get Vengeance DH as long as the Vengeance player itself can pretty much sustain himself. That is the only problem. If he can sustain himself, then this comp is just giga. You can use all of the LOS as kicks. You can do so much. You don't need the kicks when you're a full range comp. So this right here, I think will come in as a very heavy force in the meta. But the absolute highest keys week one will probably be Bear Druid / Prot Warrior. I really think these are interchangeable. I don't think that you're going to lose too much value. Early season, getting a battle res, a lot of battle reses, it kind of helps make up for any lack of knowledge. So you don't get punished as hard depending on who dies. If you only have one B-Res and it happens to be an engineering B-Res on, like, let's say the Arcane Mage, then that Arcane Mage got to find the body, res them, potentially get a miss on their res. It could backfire, but you should probably have the debuff on the or on it itself where you can't have a real backfire. So in the key, you don't get turned into a chicken in the last boss phase when you're trying to res your healer. You really don't want that. So if you ever make your engineering stuff on a person that does not have battle res, make sure that you get the catastrophic failure. I think it is a kind of a missive thing, but make sure you have avoids catastrophic failures if you're playing engineering B-Res. It is not good. You do not want to turn it into a random chicken in there for 7 seconds and then just die because you can't use your buttons. These are the best comps in the game. Full melee comp can be played very easily this season. Replace some of these healers. If you have a better player for a rogue or a havoc, you could easily switch them out, but getting this buff from Enhancement Shaman is great. And then over here, once you get every single unit is a caster, and then you just get a Vengeance DH that can live through all of it, silence when they come out, AoE stuns from our Destro, you get Nox, you get everything. I can't even think of a single thing this comp doesn't have. So this is the third best comp. It's probably going to be better once everyone has like perfect gear. That's always how it's going to work. But these comps will dominate the meta right now in this season. if there is no current changing. So I hope this helps you guys kind of pick anything extra or change a class or maybe even add one. They made alts really easy to do this season. So if you have any questions, let me know down below. I will be making a different Havoc guide. I'm playing Havoc, Arcane Mage, Destro Lock, and Assassination Rogue this season. So I will be coming out with my Havoc guide first, and after that, we will see which ones I fully main, and then I'll try to make sure I keep up with some content on there so people can learn as I learn if I learn new things. So hope this helps.